So the next heading that we have is expenses. Now what do we mean by cost of material consumed? Cost of material consumed means cost of raw materials and other materials which were consumed in the manufacturing of goods. Right? Whenever a business is procuring any production activity, definitely it will need some raw materials. So the cost of raw materials which were used or which were consumed during the manufacturing of the goods or services, they are called as cost of material consumed. Very simple. Now for calculation of cost of material consumed, we have a formula. What is the formula? Let's have a look. Cost of material consumed is equal to opening inventory of materials plus purchases of materials minus closing inventory of materials. So it's very simple. If in a common language I say, then the cost of material consumed is opening balance plus purchases less closing balance. Finish. And the balance that we are talking here is about the inventory of materials, stock of materials. What was my opening balance of materials? How much have I purchased during the year? Less closing balance of materials. Very simple. There is a note. I hope all of you can see a note is written. What is that note? Let's read. It says materials such as stores, fuel, spare parts which do not enter physically into the composition of finished goods are excluded from raw materials and hence are showed under other expenses. So this thing we need to keep in mind while we are calculating the problem sums. Okay, do not worry, while we solve the sums I shall tell you when to apply this exception. So moving forward, we move to the second subheading, that is purchases of stock in trade. So under expenses, we have done the first heading, that was cost of materials consumed, right? Now the second subheading that we have is purchases of stock in trade. Now what is stock in trade? This already I had explained you. If you can recall, then try and recall that under the current assets, on the asset side of the balance sheet, we had one subheading named as inventories. Right, now under that inventories we had stock in trade, we had loose tools, we had spare parts, isn't it? So there I had already explained you stock in trade. What is stock in trade? It refers to the goods those are purchased specially for reselling. It means I purchase from some another business, keep it in my godown and resell it. Clear? But one thing that should be taken care is that in case the company carries out, let's follow here. In case the company carries out further processing on the goods purchased, then they are not classified as purchase of stock in trade, but then it is called as cost of materials consumed. Okay, likewise, if any semi-finished goods or materials are purchased for further processing, the same should be included in cost of material consumed rather than stock in trade. So what is this point saying? This point says that when we are purchasing any product, okay, for direct reselling it into the market, then only it will be purchases of stock in trade. But in case if we are doing any minor changes or any further processing to that particular product, to that particular goods in our godown, then that will not come under purchases of stock in trade. It will come under cost of material consumed. Moving forward, the third subheading we have is change in inventories of finished goods, work in progress and stock in trade. Now how do we show this? Let's have a look here. First we calculate the finished goods, then we calculate work in progress, and then we calculate stock in trade. And after that we make a grand total of all these three subheadings. That means first we calculate opening inventory of finished goods less closing inventory of finished goods. We get a amount here. Then we calculate opening inventory of work in progress subtracted closing inventory of work in progress. We get an amount here. Opening inventory of stock in trade less closing inventory of stock in trade, we get an amount here. Now whatever amounts that we have got over here, we add up all these three and then we get a final amount. That final amount will be shown under this subheading. Clear? Very simple. Okay. Moving forward, next that we have is about employee benefit expenses. So this is a fourth subheading under the expenses column. What comes under employee benefit expenses? What items will come? Wages, salaries, bonus and leave encashment will come. If there is any contribution to the provident fund, that will come. Okay, any staff welfare expenses like any canteen expenses, medical expenses, expenses on employee stock option scheme. Okay, so any expenses related to the employee of a company, that items or those expenses will be shown under the subheading of employee benefit expenses. Next we have finance cost. Now what will come under finance cost? We have a list over here. See, firstly there can be some interest expenses. Interest expenses as in some interest which were paid on term loan from bank. That is a cost because I am paying the interest, so that will come under finance cost. If I am paying any interest on overdraft, or if I have to pay any interest on my cash credit limit, that will also come under finance cost. Okay, if I am paying any interest on debenture, public deposits, anything of that sort, that will come under finance cost. These are my expenses. Which types of expenses? It relates to the finance cost of the company, and that is why it will come under the subheading of finance cost, right? Next we have borrowing cost. Okay, so in case there is a discount or there has been a loss while issuing the debenture and that has to be written off, that loss or that discount has to be written off, it would be mentioned under finance cost. Correct? Now while redeeming the debentures, if there has to be any premium payable, that will come under finance cost. Okay, now I have already discussed what do we mean by redemption, what is redemption of debentures. Okay, so I'm not going to take it again, it would be a repetition. So just understand, while we are issuing the debentures, so if there has been a loss or a discount while issuing the debentures, or while redeeming the debentures there has to be premium paid on it, then those amount or those expenses would come under finance cost. Then if there will be any loan processing charge, any guarantee charge, any commitment charge, these charges would also be a part of my finance cost. Commitment we have already discussed while discussing the contingent liability. Okay, let's move forward. Next, if we move, we have the sixth subheading, that is depreciation and amortization expenses. Now depreciation and amortization expenses, we all know depreciation is in relation to the tangible fixed assets, right? But if we have intangible fixed assets, then we use the term amortization. Let's read what's written here. Depreciation, cost of tangible fixed assets written off. And what is for amortization? Cost of intangible fixed assets written off. Like if we are writing off goodwill, if we are writing off patent, or there is any computer software amortization, right? Moving forward, we have the heading that is other expenses. Whichever expenses in the company, they are not classified under the other 6 heads that we have discussed just above. If it fails to classify there, it fails to fit there, it will be put under the other expenses subheading. Clear? See, it's written here, all other expenses which are not classified under other heads, they will be shown here, right? Now what are the types? Let's have a reading. First we have carriage inwards and carriage outwards, then freight, manufacturing expenses, any kind of rent, rates or taxes, any kind of discount allowed, commission allowed, bad debts written off, provision for bad debts, repairs for machinery, for building and for any other fixed assets, trade expenses, administration, office and telephone expenses, bank charges, loss on sale of fixed assets, directors' fees, audit fees, conveyance expenses, traveling expenses or courier expenses. So these are what? These are the whole list of expenses which come under the heading of other expenses.